All right, let's make some brisket in the oven. So we got this brisket at a really good deal. So it was not trimmed or anything, but I'm going to go ahead and trim up some stuff. You saw Rusty right there, briefly right there at the beginning, slicing up some onions for me. I'm cutting off some of this fat. I'm not going to take all the fat off of it, but as much as possible. And then trying to get that membrane off of the brisket. So it helps to dry it with a paper towel like I did, just pat it dry. Um, just keeps it from being slimy while you're trying to run your knife under. Trying to find a knife to run, man, that my knives are dull. Rusty's gonna have to sharpen them for me. But I did try to peel the membrane kind of like you do with ribs, but I couldn't get it off of there. So I'm just kind of filleting it off and trimming it back, getting some of the fat off. I don't want like a whole lot of fat. I'm not going to take it all off because that's where the flavor's at. But I do want to take some of it off. And that membrane, it doesn't have to be completely off of there, but enough of it so then that way, hopefully that brisket will just kind of shred once it's done. I am just piling the cuttings over to the side because Mom's going to do something amazing with it. But now I'm just trying to, like I said, get a lot of this fat off and get some of that tough stuff off and kind of get it even a little bit. So that on the back, it's pretty thick. I was trying to get it kind of filleted off. I did get into the meat a little bit, so I had to reposition there a little bit. It's going to be awesome once I can get it all trimmed up. Mom bought these little knives at Dollar General, and it ended up being the best one just because it kind of bends a little bit, the blade. So you're able to fillet a little bit easier with it. All right, I am going to use mustard as a binding agent. Some people say they don't like mustard because they don't like the flavor of mustard, but believe me, you're not going to taste the mustard once it's cooked. It's literally just a binding agent. I think the vinegar in it does help infuse all the flavors. So I'm adding spices here. I've got salt, pepper, paprika, garlic powder, some adobo with comino, and then homegrown and dried oregano. I'm going to rub that all in, and I'm going to make sure to get the sides as well. Then do it all over again on the other side. Some mustard. I am pretty liberal with the salt just because a lot of that will cook down, uh, with the fat and stuff. So pepper, garlic powder, paprika. Smoked paprika is the best. Then there's that adobo. It's pretty good. And I like to get the one with the green lid because it has cominos in it. And, I'm all about that Tex-Mex flavor. Gonna get it. Yeah, and it's by Goya. Rusty just turned that. They were trying to read the ingredients on the back of it. And then I'm just going to add some onion, all that onion that Rusty chopped up. I told him it didn't have to be small. It's just for the flavor. And then I'm going to wrap this. So I've got several pieces of foil here because I want to make sure that it gets wrapped nice and tight. So then I've got a big roaster. I'm going to put that rack in there because I don't want it on the bottom of it. And I'm going to put it in the oven at 350 degrees. So I put it in there for 3 hours. I left it alone untouched for 3 hours. And then I checked it and I knew I was going to have to cook it longer, but I did want to flip it over. So I started it out fat down, and then I flipped it after 3 hours to fat up. Then I cooked it for 3.5 more hours, and this is how it came out. It was nice and juicy, and then the smaller side of it was just kind of falling apart, shredding. It was really good. So we ended up making tacos, and oh yeah, super moist, super good. amazing. And then with all that fat and stuff that we had trimmed off, Mom made some chicharrones, and they were so good, especially with tortillas.